Hi, I'm Latrice from Latrice Homemade. First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone who has watched, liked, comment, or subscribed to my channel. I really do appreciate that you have taken the time and have spent that time invested in my channel, and I'm very grateful for that. However, Latrice Homemade is more than just cooking. So today I would like to introduce Craft Corner, which is still homemade. I will be showing just different types of crafts and things, but this part of the video, it will be cooking one half, crafts one half. Not on all videos, but on some videos, we're going to have a mixture of them both. So with that being said, welcome to Craft Corner. And to start off today's video for Craft Corner, I'm going to be making steamers. With cold and flu season out there, the first part of my video, I made ginger ale, a homemade ginger ale that you're going to absolutely love. This part, I'm going to do shower steamers. Now, if you're familiar with bath bombs, they're kind of the same thing, except for you don't put this in a bath. A bath bomb, you will put in the water, it explodes and fizzles, and the scent comes out. The purpose of a shower steamer is to use some type of essential oil. You put it in the shower and the water falls, it falls off for you or just down. You don't put it directly under the water or it will, you don't put it directly under the water. You let the water fall down and hit the cake. So then therefore it'll dissolve slower. So you get to use it a little bit longer. But however, it has essential oils and it has a lot of the elements of a normal bath bomb, except for it doesn't fizz up and explode. When the water hits, the essential oils start to steam and you will start to smell it and it will start to help release the congestion in you. However, I do not recommend a shower steamer for people who have a compromised respiratory system. People like with COPD, asthma, bronchitis, any type of respiratory issue, I don't suggest it, nor would I suggest it to children under maybe the age of 6 because the essential oils may be too strong and too overbearing. But however, if you have no type of breathing or respiratory issues, then I would think they would be safe to use. But I mean, if you're kind of concerned, don't know where you fit in or whatever, maybe consult a physician or something before you use them. So with that being said, I'd like to say welcome to Craft Corner and let's get things started. Okay, to get the shower steamer started, you do not need a lot of ingredients. It's very minimal ingredients. First, you have your essential oils. This essential oils that I have is called Breathe Blends. You can find this anywhere online or whatever. And they have 3 particular essential oils. One is eucalyptus, one is peppermint, and one is Ravensara. I'm sorry, I'm not saying the name right. Ravintsara. That's something new. But this is a Breathe Blend essential oils. So this is going to be a really strong to help with that, knock out that cold or flu. You need Epsom salt. And you also need baking soda. You do not need these large of a quantity of items. However, I am a crafter. I make a lot of things. So therefore, for me, it's more budget friendly to go ahead and buy bigger bulk items. Also, you're going to need droppers. This is just a container that I washed out that has deli meat in it. And the one thing that I'm going to mention to you, these are just when these dollar store measuring utensils, measuring cups. Once you use the measuring cups, because you're using essential oils, do not use those for cooking. You're going to have to get a separate set of measuring cups, measuring spoons when you're crafting. Although the baking soda, there's no harm in that. The Epsom salt, there's no harm in that. But once the essential oils, you're using this and you're using essential oils or fragrance oils later coming up when I do wax melts, you cannot use these again for cooking. So go ahead and get you a cheap set of measuring cups and measuring spoons and keep them aside with all your crafting things. And also, like this, if you have containers, go ahead and wash them out real good, dry them, and use them. I use this for this. I have a different set that I use to make shower bombs. I have a different set that I use to make candles. I don't buy all that unnecessary expensive material, because for what? Next, you're going to need a mold. Now, if you find something that you can use instead, I would suggest getting a good mold. I think I may have gotten this from maybe Michael's years ago. I'm really not even sure, so I don't know what the cavity ounce is on that. But however, so with that being said, let's go ahead and mix the ingredients. So we're going to use 1 whole cup. This is just a half cup measuring cup that I have right now. 1 whole cup of Epsom salt. So that would be 2 scoops. If it gets clumpy like this is, I must not have shut it right. Just mix out the clumps, no big major. So you need 1 cup of Epsom salt. You need 1 cup of baking soda. And then you put that in there, and you put that to the side. I didn't get my spoon to mix. And then you mix the two together before you add your essential oil. And be sure to mix them together so everything is properly incorporated. So now let's get to the essential oil. And also gloves. You do not have to use gloves. I choose to use gloves because of the simple fact, because I also cook. Sometimes I get a little nick here, a little nick there. Therefore, essential oils, they are safe, but however, they will burn. So just when I'm doing certain crafts, I will always wear gloves. So we're going to get our essential oils out. And I'm going to start with the eucalyptus. So what you would do is put in 15 drops of each oil. Now, I like to save. That's one thing, again, I'm going to show you things that you can do and reuse. I like to save my droppers and use them a couple of times instead of just using one, throwing away. Use them a few times. So we're going to do 15 drops, which isn't a lot. And I try to go over the whole, mix it all around. Any extra, squeeze back in the bottle. Here's a little empty pill bottle. I keep my droppers in the extra pill bottle, again, because I save them and like to reuse them. Then we're going to go ahead. Ooh, you can really smell this. It's one thing about eucalyptus. You know what's in there. Then we're going to go with the peppermint oil. Let's get this cap off. Which dropper? This dropper is my peppermint drop. We're going to do the same thing, about 15 drops. Put that in there. Put the cap back on. Wow, it's peppermint. And then the new fragrance that I'm not real sure, Ravenstara oil. If you know about this oil, like I say, I don't know about it. It just came with, I needed the eucalyptus and peppermint, but it has a strong scent, but it's more of a spice scent. It's not as strong as the eucalyptus and peppermint, but I do know that it creates a great bath, shower bomb, shower steamer, sorry. And then we're going to add 15 drops. Put that dropper in there. Put the cap back on again. Make sure you put your caps on tight so this doesn't. So next we're going to need 2 tablespoons of water. I have my water bottle here for something else. So you put in 2 tablespoons of water. Then you start to mix up the mixture. You go around and make sure every bit is wet, but not real wet. The 2 tablespoons of water should be enough, but if you need to add more, I will go very slowly and add 1 tablespoon at a time before I added too much water to mess the mixture up. And I think I'm going to add just 1 more tablespoon of water. And with the mixing of this, I can very strongly smell my essential oils at work. So now that that's good and mixed, we're going to go ahead and shape the molds for the rest of the bomb. Okay, your mixture should look like this. A little wet, not too wet, not too dry. It's a little moist, like if you're making bread batter or something. So now that's when I use my tablespoon, and I start off by putting in a good 1.5 to 2 tablespoons into each mold. Uh-oh, get over here. The eucalyptus is extremely strong. That's why I do not recommend this for anyone with any type of respiratory issues. So, now go in and smooth the steamer out. Make sure you have filled the whole cavity so it can form and turn into a block. You have gloves on, so go ahead and mash it down. Try to make it smooth. I mean, it really doesn't matter. This is going, you know, you're using it for yourself. But I mean, if you're going to give these to someone, I just like the presentation to be there, you know, when I'm giving out gifts of things that I've made. That's just me. So, now once you have these in the molds, you need to let them sit for first 24 hours. Put them somewhere where they'll be cool and they can dry and they get hard. After the 24 hours, then I take them out of the mold and let them dry again, just to make sure that they are 100% dry, because if you don't, they won't set up right. So at the beginning of the video, I showed you what they look like. I'll go ahead and bring them back so you can see just once more what they look like. So let me get the rest of the ones, the pre-made ones, and I'll show you again an example of them. So again, these are the shower steamers that have set up for 48 hours, and they're going to be quite nice to use if you have some type of cold or sickness going on. Trust me, this, you can smell in here, this is really kind of overpowering, having so many sitting around. So I do suggest that maybe you wrap them up and put them in something, an airtight container, to kind of keep the smell within and not to overpower yourself in the future. Because if you walk in a room with these, you're going to get a kick. You're going to get your bang for your buck off of these. So I hope you have enjoyed. I hope you make these. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I would just like to say, bear with me. I'm nervous. I do not like being in the spotlight, but I figured it's one thing to do the cooking videos, and I wasn't in the video, but for all the crafts that I have upcoming, there was just no way to get around not being in the video. So see you next time. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I also hope that you go ahead and you make these for someone, for yourself, for someone you may know who might be sick or something. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on the next Craft Corner. See you next time.